It is a heavy topic, Alex. Many people think about change, but very few actually do it. They feel stuck in a routine that no longer serves them.
I see this all the time. People wait for a sign or a perfect moment to start a new chapter. But the truth is that the perfect moment never arrives.
That is so true. We wait for a crisis or a big event to force us to move. We stay in jobs we hate and relationships that are empty because they are familiar.
Familiarity is a dangerous drug, Sophia. It makes us feel safe even when we are miserable. We prefer a known hell over an unknown heaven.
I love that phrase. It perfectly describes the comfort zone. It feels warm and cozy, but nothing ever grows there. It is a place where dreams go to die.
When did you first realize that you needed to change your own life, Sophia? Was there a specific moment or was it a slow process?
It was a slow burn for me. I woke up one day and looked at my schedule. I realized I was living the same day over and over again for 3 years.
That sounds like the movie Groundhog Day. You are just a passenger in your own life. You are not the driver anymore.
Exactly. I felt like a ghost watching myself go to work and come home and watch television. I was physically there, but my soul was somewhere else.
Most people are terrified of that feeling, but they ignore it. They use distractions like social media or food to numb the discomfort of being stagnant.
Discomfort is actually a gift, Alex. It is your intuition telling you that you are capable of more. It is a signal that you have outgrown your current environment.
But change requires a lot of energy. Our brains are wired to save calories and avoid stress. Evolution wants us to stay exactly where we are.
This is why transformation is a biological battle. You are fighting millions of years of evolution that tell you to stay safe and quiet.
To win that battle, you need a very strong reason why. If your reason is weak, you will quit the moment things get difficult or boring.
Many people start with a negative reason. They want to stop being broke or stop being lonely. But negative motivation is short-term.
You need a vision of the person you want to become. You need to fall in love with the future version of yourself. That is the only thing that sustains long-term change.
I agree. You have to change your identity before you change your habits. If you think of yourself as a smoker who is trying to quit, you will eventually fail.
But if you think of yourself as a non-smoker who doesn't even consider cigarettes, then the habit disappears naturally. Your actions must match your self-image.
That requires a lot of mental work. You have to audit the stories you tell yourself every day. We all have these internal scripts that run in the background.
My script used to be that I am not a morning person. I used that as an excuse to be lazy and unproductive for the first 4 hours of every day.
And how did you change that script, Alex? Did you just start waking up early one day?
I had to stop seeing myself as a victim of my biology. I decided that I am a person who values the quiet hours of the morning. I changed the label.
Labels are so powerful. We walk around with these stickers on our foreheads that say I am bad at math, or I am shy, or I am not creative.
We accept these labels from our parents or our teachers when we are children. We never stop to ask if they are actually true today.
Changing your life means tearing off those old stickers. It means being brave enough to look in the mirror and say, I don't know who I am yet, but I am choosing.
Choice is the ultimate power. Most people live as if they have no choice. They act like their life is a movie they are just watching.
They say, I have to go to this job or I have to live in this city. But you don't have to do anything. You are choosing the consequences of not doing it.
That is a very liberating thought. If you are choosing your current misery, then you can also choose a new adventure. You are the architect.
But being the architect means you are responsible for the mistakes too. That is what scares people the most. They want someone else to blame.
Responsibility is the price of freedom. If you want to be free to change your life, you must accept that you are the reason it is the way it is now.
No more blaming the economy or the government or your boss. Those things exist, but they are not the reason you stay in bed until noon.
When I accepted full responsibility, my life changed instantly. I stopped waiting for someone to rescue me. I realized that nobody is coming to save me.
That is a dark realization, but also the most hopeful one. If nobody is coming to save you, then you are the hero of your own story.
Let's talk about the practical side of this. If someone wants to change their life today, where should they start? Should they quit their job tomorrow?
Absolutely not. That is a recipe for a disaster. You should start by changing your environment. Your environment is stronger than your willpower.
I agree. If you want to eat better, you must remove the junk food from your house. Don't rely on your strength at 2 in the morning.
If you want to be more focused, you must put your phone in another room. You have to make the good habits easy and the bad habits impossible.
This is environmental design. You are creating a path of least resistance toward the person you want to become. You are helping your future self.
I also think we need to talk about the people around us. Our social circle is a massive factor in our success or failure.
They say you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your friends are lazy and negative, you will be too.
It is very difficult to grow when people around you want you to stay the same. They feel threatened by your change because it highlights their own stagnation.
They might say you have changed or you are acting differently. They might even try to sabotage your progress with small comments or jokes.
You have to be willing to lose some people on the way to your new life. Not everyone is meant to walk the whole distance with you.
That is one of the most painful parts of transformation. You outgrow your old life, and that includes some of the people in it.
But you also make space for new people. People who are also growing and climbing. People who will push you and inspire you.
Finding a new tribe is essential. It makes the journey feel less lonely. It validates your new identity.
For many of our listeners, learning English is part of this journey. It is a way to access a new world and a new tribe.
English is a multiplier. It takes your existing skills and gives them a global reach. It is one of the most practical ways to change your life.
I remember how my confidence grew when I started to understand people from different cultures. It made me realize that the world is much bigger than my town.
It gives you a sense of agency. You are no longer limited by the opportunities in your local language. You can learn from the best in the world.
That is a huge life change. It opens doors that were previously locked. It is an investment in yourself that never depreciates.
We are talking about the long game here. Changing your life is not a weekend project. It is a lifelong commitment to growth.
And it starts with a single step. One small action today that proves you are moving in a new direction.
What was your small action today, Sophia? How did you move the needle today?
I decided to spend an hour reading a book that challenges my current beliefs. I want to stay flexible in my thinking.
That is a great one. Flexibility is a superpower in a world that is changing so fast. If you are rigid, you will break.
We need to talk more about how to stay consistent when the initial excitement of change disappears. Because it always disappears.
That is where systems come in. We should dive deep into building those systems and handling the inevitable setbacks that everyone faces.
There will always be setbacks. Life is not a straight line up. It is a messy zigzag.
Let's look at how to navigate that zigzag without losing your mind or giving up on your dreams.
I am ready for that. Let's continue this conversation.
We were talking about the zigzag of life and how the initial excitement always disappears after a few days.
That is the danger zone, Alex. People call it the valley of disappointment. You work hard but you see no results.
It is like planting a seed. You water it every day but you see only dirt for a long time. You think nothing is happening.
But underground the roots are growing deep. You need those roots to support the tree later. Without them the tree falls.
Most people quit right before the sprout breaks the surface. They stop watering the plant because they are bored or frustrated.
Discipline is just watering the plant when you don't feel like it. It is doing the boring work consistently for a long time.
I struggle with boredom more than I struggle with hard work. I want the fast result and the big win every single day.
That is the dopamine trap of the modern world. We want everything instantly, like a notification on our phone.
But life does not have notifications for progress. You have to be your own cheerleader and your own judge.
To stay consistent, you must lower the barrier to entry. If your new habit is too difficult, you will find an excuse.
I like the 2-minute rule for this. If you want to read more, just read for 2 minutes. Anyone can do 2 minutes.
It sounds too simple to work, but it is brilliant. It stops the brain from overthinking and creates a tiny win.
Those tiny wins build momentum. Momentum is the most powerful force in the world when you want to change your life.
Once you have momentum, it is harder to stop than it is to keep going. You become a person who does the work.
What about the fear of what other people think? That stops more people than anything else.
We are social animals, so we are terrified of being the weird one in the group. We want to fit in even if the group is failing.
You have to realize that most people are not looking at you. They are too busy worrying about what you think of them.
It is a giant circle of people worrying about other people who are also worrying. It is quite funny when you think about it.
When you stop caring about the crowd, you finally become free to be yourself. You stop performing and start living.
But being yourself is a risk. You might be rejected. You might be laughed at. You might be lonely for a while.
I would rather be lonely and authentic than surrounded by people who only like my mask. The mask is heavy to wear.
I wore a mask for 10 years in my old career. I was successful, but I was dying inside. I was a stranger to myself.
That is the highest price you can pay for safety. You lose your identity. You lose your spark. You lose your life.
I had to burn my old life to the ground to build a new one. It was painful, but it was the best thing I ever did.
Most people are afraid of the fire. They don't realize that the fire cleanses the old to make room for the new.
You have to be willing to be a beginner again. You have to be okay with being bad at something for a year.
We want to be experts on day one. We want the native accent in the first month of learning English.
But the beauty is in the struggle. The mistakes are where the learning happens. Perfection is a dead end.
I agree. If you are perfect, you cannot grow. There is no room for improvement. I love my mistakes now.
They are proof that you are trying. They are proof that you are in the game and not just sitting on the sidelines.
If you are sitting on the sidelines, you are safe, but you are also bored. The game is where the life is.
Let's talk about the physical body. How does changing your health change your life, Alex?
It is the foundation of everything. If you have no energy, you cannot change your career or your relationships.
Your body is the vehicle for your soul. If the vehicle is broken, you are not going anywhere fast.
When I started exercising, my brain started working differently. I was more creative and more confident. I felt powerful.
Movement is medicine. It changes your chemistry. It proves to you that you can overcome physical resistance.
And that confidence translates to every other area. You realize that if you can run a mile, you can write a book.
It is all connected. One small change in one area creates a ripple effect in every other area of your life.
This is why you don't need a massive plan. You just need to move one stone. Then another. Then another.
Soon you have a mountain. And the view from the top is completely different from the view at the bottom.
I want our listeners to realize that they are not stuck. They are just in a long pause. They can hit play at any moment.
The power is in the present. You cannot change the past and you cannot control the future, but you can act now.
What is the one thing you would tell someone who is listening and feels hopeless right now, Sophia?
I would tell them that their current situation is not their final destination. It is just a scene in the middle of the movie.
Don't walk out of the theater before the movie is over. The hero always has a comeback in the second half.
You are the hero and the director and the writer. You can change the script in the middle of the scene.
Stop waiting for permission to be happy. Stop waiting for a lucky break. Create your own luck through action.
It is time to stop dreaming about a new life and start building one. The materials are already in your hands.
Your time is the most valuable currency you have. Stop spending it on things that don't matter to your soul.
Invest it in your growth. Invest it in your skills. Invest it in the people who make you feel alive.
This is the journey of a lifetime. It never ends. You just keep evolving into higher versions of yourself.
I am excited to see who I will be next year. I am excited to see who our listeners will become.
It is a beautiful process. Thank you for sharing this conversation with me, Sophia. It was very inspiring.
Thank you, Alex. I feel energized and ready to take on the world.
To everyone listening, your new life starts the moment you decide. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now.
Take that first step. We are with you. See you in the next episode.
Goodbye everyone. Keep growing.
Bye.